My name is Joanna Pilatovic, and today, as part of connecting with like-minded people, part of our community we are creating, starting from Germany here, I have invited Ela Corcoran to have a conversation with me on the topic of holistic health. We have a little bit of interruption with connection because Ela is in California, and she's homeopath and holistic health coach with a busy wellness practice. She studied different paths of yoga, meditation, which she has now been teaching for over 15 years. And she has also been a teacher of personal growth for over 20 years and is both Proctor course certified life success consultant. I hope I said it right. That name, Proctor.
Bob Proctor.
Wait a moment, yeah. Ela, can you tell me a little bit more about your work? What is the holistic approach to health? And why holistic? Is fitness or nutrition part of it?
Hi, Joanna. It is a really great pleasure to be here. And I really am admiring what you do to bring the community together and educate the community, which is really important. So maybe let me start by saying that I am so really blessed that what I do is absolutely my passion. I have been for almost 2 decades guiding people on their journey towards better health, and I use the holistic approach and natural solution, being homeopath and holistic health coach. You probably asked what that holistic approach is. Holistic means that you take into consideration the whole person, and not only the physical, but also mind and spirit. A holistic approach has a different view of the illness and disease, and it actually view the disease and illness as imbalance, that it expresses itself on the physical, emotional, and mental levels of a person. So we actually look for that imbalance in order to correct the symptoms, because people usually notice that something is not right through symptoms, and symptoms are the body's communication system with us. So if we do not have system, we really assume that everything is correct, and we would never actually be doing anything about that. So we should really respect the symptoms rather than fight with them. So this what is the difference between the holistic approach and the fragmentary approach by the mainstream medicine, because they do not recognize that imbalance, and they don't looking for really causes of the diseases. But generally, they want to suppress the symptoms, both physical and psychological. So, for example, the pain they will be treating with painkiller, constipation with the laxative. So, like opposite. Okay, let's fight here. Okay, who is stronger, the drug or we? And all the body needs is to really recognize those symptoms and say, where is the problem? Let's please address the problem. So that's what holistically, when we're looking at the person, we're actually looking for those clues and trying to identify the underlying cause of the problem. And also we treat then the whole person, not just the parts as the mainstream medicine does. So, and you go to a different doctors, and they are specializing in different parts of you, of heart, kidneys, digestive tract, whatever it is. They are specialized in these areas. So that's the difference between holistic and non-holistic medicine. And obviously, we're also looking at the solution, which are in different areas. We do not really recommend, unless it's absolutely necessary, to resolve to drugs, chemical drugs. They actually are very, they really if we need them, we need them. We have to recognize that. But people actually resort to drugs too frequently and unnecessary. So we're just trying to resolve the inharmony, and we going into a natural solutions, something that the body really will recognize and will be a help for the body to either restore the organ, or maybe the cause of the problem is simply diet. You see, the doctors do not pay attention to that at all, and that's for in order to get the nutrients and what the body needs, we need to eat, and if we do not eat properly, the body does not find those nutrients. That's why people feel all the time hungry also.
Yeah, I cannot agree more.
And they asking question, well, I have a problem, I eat too much. Well, if you start eating different things, the body will be happy. And hunger, excuse me, hunger is something that the body naturally also communicates to us and say, you know what, I need some nutrients here. And we take it as, more food. So we give the body more food, but the body does not find any nutrients there, and creates, and an hour later, you're still hungry.
How they are treating obesity this way, they are forcing people to eat less and less, and when in fact they are just struggling with being hungry for something maybe they don't get.
Well, exactly. Well, eating less, that's probably also something that most people should do. But the more important is, okay, if you eat less, you think you deprive yourself. Yes, you will, if you're actually eating less of the same food that in the first place created the problem. But if you start eating differently, you will be surprised that when the body gets the nutrients, you might not be hungry, basically, and you start losing weight.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a rainbow medicine, what you are talking about, taking every aspect of human life together and finding the connection between different parts. I cannot agree more. I really like that.
Well, and that makes sense, yes. And what we also need to do to understand is that we are creature of habit. So some people are really willing sometimes to do something and change something what they know it's not right, but there is that hurdle that they cannot overcome, because they start, okay, you see, that's the problem with every diet. You start a diet because somebody says, oh, it worked for me, it's wonderful, blah, blah. So people start the diet and maybe they have some little results there, but obviously the old habit kicks in, and they, after a while, they go back to where they were. So this is, I recognize that in my practice, I actually do address that problem, because people come, you give them recommendation, they say, oh, that makes sense, I will do that. And some people start running. Basically, they take everything and they want to change their life in 1 week. Well, after 1 week, they're so tired of those new changes that they go back. It's too hard. So they go back to their old lifestyle. And
so what do you recommend? Because that's a huge topic, I think.
Yeah,
it's interested how to break that habit and not go back to the old one, unwanted one.
Well, this is come to education. If you understand how your mind works, and you understand how the habit can get hold of you, and how the best way to eliminate that habit, there are certain ways of doing that. But you need to commit yourself to those changes. And first, education, know a little bit, because if we know, we willing more to try something. If we just do not agree, if we don't understand what's going on, as I said, we might quit too early, and a habit takes time to develop. So to change the old habits and to replace it with the new one, it also requires time and patience, and sometimes a coach to guide you through that process. So even people come to me with a physical illnesses, symptoms that they're not happy with, we still look holistically and see, well, obviously you're not doing, or you repeating something that you don't even know contributes to your ill health. So let's work on the mind too. And people actually are having better results through that. So my training as a coach, and especially with Bob Proctor, who you mentioned, who is really well known to have amazing results with people. That's what I'm using in my practice.
Mm-hmm. So what is that basic tips of your practice? What is it all about?
Well, the first thing is to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is to recognize the problem. If you do not know you have a problem, then obviously it's very hard to change something.
Right.
So first is to recognize it and be very, just look at your life and be honest. Where are the components of my life, my lifestyle that needs attention? And for some people, it could be diet. It could be what they eat. For some people, it could be lack of exercise. For some people, can be and for most people actually is the emotional part of their life, and that needs to be addressed. So first, be honest, be really willing to look into your life honestly and identify those problems. After that, you then ask the coach, your guide, to say, oh, what do you recommend? Because those people have already experience, yes, and they know how to guide you and lead you towards what you need to do to change this area of your life. So if it's a diet, for me, the most important diet that you ever can learn about is to know that our body is by design alkaline, and if anything happens in the body that we don't like, we really have to see whether we alkalizing the body on a daily basis by what we eat. So the only diet for me really is the alkaline diet. We also tune that with the specific needs of the patient. Sometimes it's a blood type that guides me, sometimes other things. But so generally I do not look at the patients in the same way. Every patient is different to me, and every patient needs a sort of tailored program for that person. And after you do that, then you have to stay on course. So we need to follow the program, so to speak. Without that, you reverse, you will be doing exactly the same. And you go to somebody else, and because they have that magic pill for you, and there is no magic pill, I'm afraid.
So
That's
the
the bad
first you have
news.
to understand there is no easy way, but there is a way.
Well, there is a way, definitely easy. No, life is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be simple, I think. We too complicate life, but that's two different things, easy and simple. It's simple, but it's not always easy, especially if you set yourself in already all these habits that do not serve you, and you need to change them. That's the only way. So I don't know. This is like, Joanna, this is a big, huge topic. As I said, each of these things that I do can be divided and could be I give workshop on individual aspects of that healthy lifestyle. So
yeah, I have a number of questions today, but what you actually are saying right now makes me to ask already so much. In a way, you are answering how you are accessing those needs of the client, and you look individually at them. So you already answer part of that. But also, it seems like a big part of your practice is to educating people on what they really need, so they can, in the future, they not gonna need that coach so often. Although it's actually pretty comfortable to have one for all your life, because then, yeah, you kind of have a prescription, or you can be monitored, which is comfort for people. So how long does it take for people to be coached? How long it takes when you watch your client changes the habit so she can go on without you, or they stay because they actually like to be monitored, and it's kind of, checkup, cooperation on long term.
Well, you need a coach, as you said, at the beginning at least. And if you want to make progress, sometimes you stay with the coach if you see the results. But obviously, my role also is not to keep people coming to me because I'm not serving them well. It means that when you're actually guiding somebody and they make the progress and they're doing better, they can be on their own. You cannot chaperone them all the time because they've already learned what they have to learn. Well, you can always expand. I learn all the time. It's not that I've already been taught and that's it. Everybody learns our life we learn, and we learn from each other. There's so many new information coming to us every day, and we need to be on top of that, evaluate and see whether there's any value in this to apply in what I do, for example. So I'm always very much into research and knowing what's going on. So, and learning from, I know people learn from me and I learn from other people. So it's not an end process, it's an ongoing process. Learning is ongoing. As long as we live on this earth, we learn. We're here to learn. So we're only helping, the more you know, the more you can help other people to guide them and to direct them to where they can learn also.
Mm-hmm. Did it ever happen to you that someone came like kind of too late? I'm talking about when people get diagnosis that their sickness, their disease is terminal, and then what? Are you able to help them to still cure the disease, to still do something about it?
Okay, when there is a life, there is always hope. That's what I say. Taking excuse me, taking a hope away from people is really a crime. And that's also I see other doctors do. The patient comes, and unfortunately, I see those people quite frequently because first, you trust the doctor. You go, you follow the plan, whatever, for years, and your health deteriorates. That especially happens with I deal with kidneys diseases, and that's a silent disease. So people don't even know that they have because the doctor does not communicate. They do not have. They see from the blood test maybe that your function of your kidney deteriorates, but they don't have anything to help the patient. So they monitor. They treat the symptoms again. The symptoms could be people already have high blood pressure, and because of the kidneys declining, they can have anemia already because of that. But the doctors will not do anything because if the doctor doesn't have a drug that was told that this is for that, that's why they have to label you with the disease for this disease, then they will not give it to you. Mm-hmm. Because they don't have it. So the patient declines. And then at the end, the patient is shocked because it's told that you have your kidneys are failing and you need the dialysis and you need the next step, the transplant. So the people come in desperation. So of course it's easier to treat something at the very beginning. We did not exhaust it yet, the vital force of the patient, and vital force is our core of our being. Everything depends on that. And so patient is desperate and no hope. So we say, well, okay, you are where you are. First, you have to know where you are. You're not in a good place. But I've seen so many so-called miracles. So if you correct still in the body, sometimes it's not too late. Then you see those miracles. Basically, the body is doing the work. We only have to help the body to repair, to to get, healthier. So yes, I would say it's possible. Everything is possible. Don't take away hope from people, because that obviously lower our vitality so much. Again, the component of the emotions and our health. Our mind is so important in our process of getting better. So I've seen those miracles.
I like your approach that you're not saying straight away like, oh no, everything is curable,
No,
because
no.
how difficult that is. And even if people do start to apply, it could be that it's sometimes too late, or and sometimes you can even extend their well-being and life for a while, for long years. But that is very honest. I like that approach to the terminal diseases. But in fact, you are telling that we should start coming to you when we are relatively healthy. So that's not going to happen.
Well, and there are some people who actually are aware. It's all about the education again. If people are aware about how really your lifestyle can contribute, and they want to learn more about it, and they want to be proactive. That's the name of my practice, proactive health. And they do something, it's like the same. If you have a bank account and you want to, in years, you want to go there and see some money that you have to contribute to that account, yes, on a daily basis or some regular basis. So the same, you have to contribute to your through your lifestyle to your health, rather than take away from your health. And we know what those factors contributing and taking away are. So if people only learn, the prevention is really better, much better than obviously trying to help somebody when they are already sick.
So let's talk about that. Some of my friends already know I'm going to talk to you today. So I collected a number of questions, what some of them would like to know. And one topic is about supplements, if we should take them and what kind, and what about, all those very, very popular now, vitamin D3, Q10, digestive enzymes, collagen. So do we need them? How much? Are we even absorbing them? What type? Are they good? What can you tell us about that?
Okay, the topic on supplements, again, you open a Pandora box. It's really a big one, and we can have another workshop on that. But generally, when you really understand how the body works, obviously all the nutrients should be derived from food. And that's the best source for all the nutrients. And we should have all these nutrients in the good food that we will eat. The only problem these days is that we do not, our even organic vegetables and food do not really has all those nutrients, and that's due to the soil that they grow in. Even the organic soil. In the past, we use manure and all those minerals, were put back into the soil. These days, we don't do that. We have the artificial chemicals that we use, and even in organic farming, we only put certain basic minerals in order to be considered organic. Of course, not using pesticides and spray with bad things. So that's also very important. But where are the rest of the minerals? And the minerals, in fact, are more important than vitamins. If you look at the function of the body, the minerals are really crucial, more than the vitamins.
I'm just going to interrupt you here, because I don't know if you know, but for example, in Germany, if you go to do your test blood, like a basic morphology, you don't get the list of those minerals. Like magnesium, it's extra. You have to pay for that extra. You just get a basic test blood. So you are telling the minerals are more important than vitamins.
Oh, of course. I mean, all the communication between the cells, I mean, all the hormones. I mean, if you look what function the minerals have in the body, you would be really understanding that. So we should take all those nutrients from food. The only problem, as I said, we might not find them unless you really live in an environment where you grow your own vegetables and everything. 100 years ago when people in fact were eating much better. So yes, supplementation has its place, and sometimes people are just missing something one. Okay, you can supplement, but the best way is to test for a range of minerals and a range of vitamins that you might be missing. I mean, sometimes you can go by symptoms, and the deficiency in some minerals, vitamins can tell you what you're missing. But the best also way to taking supplements would be by having them synergetically put together. If you're taking one vitamin, people do not realize that that vitamin needs another vitamin or minerals
Yes.
to be absorbed, to have benefit out of it. Otherwise, you just really pay for something, and we say you buy those minerals with or vitamins that does not make sense altogether, and then the body will excrete those minerals. You will not absorb them, or vitamins, and you have very expensive urine, we say, which is producing expensive urine because all is excreted. So,
Right.
so that knowledge is also very important, and sometimes it's better to take not the high doses, but the lower doses, but in the right combination, so the body benefits from it. So those multivitamins sometimes and formulas can be much better than people buy individual bottles of different
Yeah.
supplements. Sometimes they bring me a whole plastic bag of those supplements.
Oh,
So it's good that they don't bring me the whole bag of the medications. That would be worse even. But
right.
but they still need guidance on what really they need first, whether they need all these vitamins, minerals that they're taking, and whether the dosage that they take is the right one.
So we cannot at the beginning do that on our own. I mean, we can,
Oh,
but it's
we
very
can, yeah.
likely we're gonna make some of the mistakes.
Well, we can do it because they're available over the counter, which is still good. We have
Yeah.
that freedom because more and more the pharmaceutical companies want to also take our vitamins away and say the only doctor will be able to prescribe them. Well, it's good. We have freedom. We have our we can,
Now. Yeah.
for now at least, yes. So it's good, but well, we'll be fighting for it.
Um, I have one question from a dancer specifically. If the muscles are hurting or there are inflammation of, I don't know, maybe joints or Achilles or the whole muscles, um, is it deprivation of magnesium or is it something else? What would you recommend those people? Because dancers are really dancing a lot, really have every day fulfilled with training and practicing, and sometimes they cannot just stop. Sometimes it's harder for them to take a break. So besides, of course, that they should rest sometimes, what would you recommend them?
Okay, it's a very good question because if you're a dancer, you as I said, you exercise your muscles quite a bit. So that's the same like going to a gym. And when you exercise the muscles, the muscles will grow. But how the muscle grows? It's basically first by exercising, you in a way tear them apart, and they start rebuilding, and that's how they grow. So the process, we know how that happens, but what happens also is that, yes, it could be in that process, you need more magnesium. Okay, if that's the thing, so usually you will have more crampy type of pain.
Yeah,
If you
that's also what
deficient,
is the
yeah,
main complaint. Yeah.
that's where exactly that's what you experience when you're lacking magnesium. But what you can actually do in this situation, either, take supplement with the more magnesium, or there's a wonderful remedy, homeopathic remedy called that gives you the magnesium. And that remedy sometimes works instantly. People have cramp and then they take remedy, and it's called magnesium phosphoricum. And it's really good to have in your kit of first aid. So you always can use that, especially if you're dancing and you would like to take advantage of that. But you have to understand also the process. Sometimes the achy muscles, it means that the body also, when you exercise, produce acid. Okay, and that acid creates pain. So in order to neutralize that acid, it's very good to, for example, drink alkalis by drinking some water with baking soda. And that will quickly assist. Yes, some baking soda. Baking soda is the number one agent to have more alkaline body. Of course, not. Not only just by drinking baking soda. We need that alkaline vegetables and food that we eat too. But for that pain, that's what you can do. You can actually drink a little bit of that and assist the body in removing the lactic acid, which is the cause of that pain. But as I said, better is to follow the alkaline diet, and the body then can cope better in the situation on its own. And yes, also yes, also another tip for the dancer, another thing that I would have in my purse, maybe that I always have, is the homeopathic arnica, because that really helps also to neutralize the pain in the muscles, because it's like a traumatic. It's good for us to exercise, but at the same time, the metabolic waste products that the exercise produces is acidic, and we might have. So if we exercise too much, but we do not alkalize, we can have a lot of muscles. And I had patients like that, sometimes men coming, and they picture of health. They have a muscular body, but the body inside is rotting. Okay, it's not good. And they say, how do you tell me? I feel I only have this problem. I said, well, okay, let's look inside. And you find out that inside they are not as, it's like an apple that, these days you can buy in a supermarket. It's coated with wax, and it looks beautiful and stay almost young forever. Yes. but inside you cut the apple and you find that it's nothing but decay.
Right. Yeah. That's gonna be very good for my dancers to hear. There is another question now on the, let's go the other way. I had one wonderful question about not eating at all. Are you familiar with the concept of feeding yourself with so-called, people call it life force, prana? They stop eating. I have no idea how that is possible, because of course we need all those supplements and nutrition from food. And some of the people just stopping. Is that even possible? Do you have any opinion about that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. Okay, I would say, all right, if you're on that consciousness level that you can feed your body with prana, good luck, do it, but don't try it at home when you're not there yet. So just try one day without food, fasting, and see how far you will get. So that would be my test for you. Okay, some people cannot be without food for more than 2-3 hours. Yeah, and then if they have to skip meal, like lunch, because they visit and say, oh my God, the whole life is falling apart. So obviously everything is possible. We do not need really, if you really go at the same, educate yourself, or go more into more spiritual realm and understand a little bit more, then you will see that, yes, there are some saints that never had to eat. But as I said, their level of consciousness is different than ours, and we can only strive to get to getting there. But when you get there, yes, all by all means. I'm not there yet. I still eat. But I feel comfortable. I understand the how the body really benefits from having a rest from food sometimes. So occasional fasting or even fasting once a week with liquid diet is really very very important for the body. We do not look much into a digestive system. For me, the digestive system is like, it's so important. If that does not work in your body, then how you can absorb those minerals, how you can benefit from anything that you eat. So we need to make sure that the digestive system is it's really working. So for any chronic disease, when people come and even they don't have much symptom in the digestive system, we have to make sure that that part of the body works at its best.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's another big topic that I hope we're gonna talk about next time more. Yeah, because of course the gut is like a second brain, I heard. Yeah.
Yes, it is. There's a connection between the mind and the gut. So the same, you see emotions. So when you do not look holistically at the person, you just really not serving them well. You're not helping that person. You might guide them, but not really fully. Okay, so holistically means we do make those connection between different parts of the bodies and mind and even spirit. We are spiritual beings, so
Exactly. So besides your individual practice, I know already you're expanding and you are organizing retreats to allow people to apply this knowledge more often, so day to day. Can you tell us more about that?
yes, I actually, by organizing the workshop and retreats, this is the way for me to reach more people. Also, like, talking to you and you have a community, sharing that with people, with an audience, just more than one-on-one basis. It's something that I really like doing. So I have been organizing the workshop and retreats in the States for years now. And now, for the first time since I love Europe, I have know lots of people there, and people know me. I actually first time will be organizing. There will be first time opportunity to participate in one of my retreats in Europe, and this year it will take place in Greece on a beautiful peninsula, Pelion, and it will take place 8th to 15th of June. So if anybody would be interested, I highly really recommend to look into that. It is going to be a learning vacation. So you will have plenty of relaxation and plenty of fun, but at the same time, you will really learn something that can really drastically improve your life forever. That I can guarantee. And there's no better environment to learn than fun environment. It's different than being, sitting in a class and learning, and different when you interact with the teachers and with the students. So that's what I. Yes. So people will learn different techniques of how to master their mind and how to create those results that they want in life, and whether that's even not only health, but sometimes the same principles of mind applied to relationship, or more happiness, more peace, or prosperity, whatever they lacking in life. And they can learn those techniques. They also will learn the principles of those, the best nutrition and the right fitness, just for them, because as I said, the different people sometimes do not require the same type of fitness. Really, I mean, I can tell you that some people need more heavy type of exercises, and some people need more gentle and stretching, and that correlates with the blood type. I've been observing that for years, and I can testify that that's true. And it's going to be a very, very small retreat. I think maximum we can accommodate is 10 people. So you are really be guaranteed to receive the utmost personal attention.
How to connect with you the best way? We're going to leave a link under the video, of course. But 10 people is not that many. But of course, that guarantees the best attention.
No, that's on purpose. I don't want to have a huge amount of people there. We need to connect. We need to be, the program will be allowing for that, and also, the small amount of people that we will only accommodate in this. So if somebody wants to still participate, we still have few places left, and invite people to look into that, review the information. The best way to visit probably, or to start, is to go to elacorcoran.com. So basically my name.com, because that will guide you to my website. And from that website, you can also go to, I have to be putting a link there that will go to a retreat as well. Just give me a couple of hours. I still have not done that, but the link will be there. So I look forward really to connect with some of your audience, of your community, people from your community, and we'll be happy to hear. And if people have more questions and would like to explore some other areas that we basically only scratch the surface of,
yes.
Please, I'll be happy to return and share more.
Yeah, I thank you very much for this and for sharing. And I'm going to post, of course, more about it. And when it's more questions, then we can do part 2, maybe part 3, about a certain subject people are mostly interested about, or something that they need to address right now.
Okay.
All right. So
I will be very happy.
Thank you very much for this conversation, and looking forward for more.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, and wishing everybody good health. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.